What's up, everybody? Welcome to This Week in Wrestling, THS Wrestling. My goodness, we hope everybody had a good weekend. If you're in California, it is hot, and I hate it. And we got the electric bill, and it ain't good. But I love that AC. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Ian, what's going on, my man? Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Ian?
So Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, Twitch.tv/that hashtag show, and YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV. I believe we are streaming on all of those places except for Instagram because I don't know, technology and such.
They can't contain awesomeness yet. They're not there yet.
They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. Neeson is on assignment, and by assignment I mean he is celebrating his birthday a little early, I believe.
Oh, nice! Go big, Neeson. Go big. Happy early birthday, Neeson. Go
So,
on
yeah.
your feet.
Yeah, because we won't be able to say happy birthday live on air with him. We will say it here right now. Happy birthday, man. I don't want to get too deep, but I moved here from San Jose about 2 years ago. Don't have a lot of new friends. Johnny, I consider you one of my new good friends, and I also consider Neeson one of my very new and close friends. So happy birthday to you, sir. He does a lot for this show, which if it looks like crap this week, it's because he's not here. And I had to do all this, and I'm sweating it, but it's fine.
Sure,
we're gonna soldier on here. Johnny, I didn't even intro you. Johnny, how are you?
I am good. Having a good week. School started back already kind of early for me, but you know what? I'm excited to see the kiddos. Yeah, and again, it's been a fun week. I've been catching my anime, been watching some Black Clover. I've been watching some wrestling. Excited for some stuff that's coming up in this next week. I'm excited to talk with y'all about. And just like you said, happy birthday to the homie Neeson. Again,
Absolutely.
doing this show has been amazing. And again, the same thing. Consider you a friend. Consider Neeson a friend. You guys are my wrestling brothers in arms. And so even though he's not here right now, happy he is out celebrating his birthday. Go big, Neeson. Go big. And we're going to hold down the show for you and put it on your honor, sir. We got you.
Absolutely. Hey, party people. Matthew, what's up? Something happened.
Matthew?
Something happened to Raw and SmackDown. Everything happened this week, Ian. A lot of stuff. We're not gonna stick around for too long because a lot happened, but there's like 2 or 3 topics I feel we really, really need to talk about, and we'll get to them. We're gonna talk about Raw Underground. We're gonna talk about Retribution. We're gonna talk about NXT. We're gonna talk about AEW. But before we do, we're gonna talk a little bit of SmackDown as well. But before we get to all that, I'd say about half an hour ago, before we got on the air, it was press came out that former WWF wrestler and WCW wrestler Kamala had passed away. Very sad. He was pretty beloved by a lot of people. Kamala, the Ugandan giant. I remember his big mask and his spear and the moon and the stars painted on him. He was a pretty good big man. He was scary when I was a child. He scared me. I mean, for me, most known with this feud with Hogan. I would also say for pinning people the wrong way. That's the other thing that I remember him a lot for. And we hope he is resting well. Finally, I know he was having some issues as of late, and we send our well wishes to his family as well.
For sure. Again, it just happened so soon, so we can't go in depth into it as we would like to. With again, we haven't got a chance to do our due diligence, our research as journalists or whatnot. But we just want to give a big respect to him and his family this time and the time of mourning and whatnot. And again, he left a big impression on the wrestling industry. He left a big impression on us. So RIP to Kamala, rest in peace. And then hopefully in future episodes we'll be able to go more deeply into this and provide more information or whatnot. But this time, just rest in peace to him and respect to his family.
Absolutely. Before we get to AEW, Matthew, Heath got screwed royally on Tuesday, and I agree with you. I'll just tell you right now, Moose defended his TNA championship against Heath on Tuesday, Johnny, and he lost.
Oh.
And he thus doesn't get a contract. I think I know this is not in our agenda, but I think for me, I'm kind of tired of the Heath Slater, haha, he's not working here or he didn't get drafted. I'm sick of the Heath Slater kind of joke thing. I want this guy to have like a really good Christian Cage type of run in Impact, and it's just kind of like, yes, he's in a storyline immediately, but I'd rather just have him. He's signed, he's here. Let's just see what he can do with some of our talent.
I mean, to be totally honest with you, I agree with you because again, like I actually, as I was reflecting back on like all these WWE appearances that were happening in other companies, like I'm a little bit disappointed that not many of them were building actual new characters in a way. It's like here's this guy, here he is by his like given name and whatnot, but they're actually not like building like a character around him or doing like a storyline and doing something new with them. Because like you said, that whole Heath fighting for his job, it was like a running joke on like the WWE storylines used to do with him all the time. And I kind of felt the same when Zack Ryder showed up like on AEW. It was like, okay, but what's his new character? What's his storyline or whatnot? And so I agree with you. It's like, it's cool for you guys to bring in these WWE guys and give them jobs because people being gainfully employed, especially during this time, is really good. But at the same time, though, it's like, have a plan for them. Don't just like throw people on shows and not know what to do with them. That sounds like another program we won't talk about right now. But yeah. But that's the thing, though. Take your time, actually tell stories, and you don't have to rush it. Once they're employed on a contract, let the writers do their job and come up with craft some well-told stories. So what he like, hopefully, again, like you said, he got screwed. It's a dumb for me doing the storyline. Hopefully, drop it and find something else to do with him.
Absolutely. And Matthew, I'm still watching. I think Neeson might be watching as well more weekly. So I mean, if something big comes up, we'll talk about it. But you mentioned it in the comments, so I thought we would just get to it right away here. But let's talk about some stuff that happened on AEW Dynamite. The big thing for me was we had the debate between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy, and it was hosted by none other than returning to not only wrestling but to TNT, one Eric Bischoff. I thought this segment was pretty good. I thought it was very well done in the fact that we know Orange Cassidy's shtick of not really caring about anything. And to see him, and honestly, that might be the most I've ever seen Orange Cassidy talk in character. His entire run as Orange Cassidy, and I'm not just talking about AEW. He did the funny bit with like, oh, I know about what was it, the sea levels rising and all that stuff. But I thought his other promo, the one where he told Jericho to shut up and that he was going to shut him up next week, I thought this was a really well done segment. What did you think, Johnny?
So I gotta be totally honest. Like I've been watching highlights from AEW this week because I took this week to watch the 3 WWE programs. I watched Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
We'll get to that.
Exactly. So I'm a little bit WWE in here, but I did hear about the Eric Bischoff thing and him coming back. And honestly, I gotta say, like I do kind of like I like it because it's kind of smart in a way. Like it gets people's attention, it helps boost the ratings and whatnot. And honestly, it's not like they brought him on as like an on-air like personality or anything like that. At least not yet. They just kind of introduced it to it and brought him on air. So I think it's like a good thing. As everyone point out, it's a great callback to the history of WCW, which like a lot of the AEW is in a way. It's a callback to the wrestling history of TNT, of like that Turner channel, like all the history and whatnot. So I think it's a really cool thing. Like my whole thing is that I don't want to see Eric Bischoff come in there as like an authoritarian figure or like anything like that. But it's great that they brought him in and like again, it's a great callback. And honestly, it gives them all a chance to like pick his brain. Like Tony Khan, Cody can talk to Eric Bischoff, tell him what they're doing right now to get his input because he has years upon years of wisdom within the wrestling industry, and that's invaluable. But at the same time, though, I want them to forge their own new path and not repeat what's already been done. So definitely take his input, but you don't need to put like Eric Bischoff like on air as a new commissioner or anything like that. It's great that he's making an appearance, and maybe he can do so like every so often. But again, using them this way seemed totally fine, legit, and I'm giving guess it got my popping ratings too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is Eric Bischoff's appearance. I believe he has said, that's it. I'm not coming back. It's just that. So it was like a one and done kind of thing, which is great. I think it was, I think it was heavily rumored that it was going to be Bischoff. It was nice to see him on TV for a little segment, and then at the end when he tells Jericho, "I've never liked you." I thought that was pretty funny. But one thing I didn't put up this picture. Look at this suit.
Whew.
Jericho just bringing it.
Well done, Y2J. Well done.
Just doing the good stuff. More on Chris Jericho a little later in the broadcast. We have the other thing that kind of stood out to me about Dynamite. It was a great show. I thought the 12-man tag was very good, but we did have a segment where Matt Hardy comes out and addresses Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
Says he's done helping Sammy Guevara. And then Sammy Guevara, I don't know if you've seen the clips of this.
I have.
He attacks Matt Hardy. They brawl to the outside. He throws Matt Hardy into the steel post. Hardy falls on top of a table, and Sammy Guevara lawn darts a chair directly into the forehead of Matt Hardy. And I guess, trigger warning, I'm about to show the picture of what Matt Hardy looked like. And it's going up right now. He got, I guess for lack of a better term, he got fucked up.
Yeah, he got cut up in the hard way.
Yeah, this was like, I think, a 10 on the Muda scale, for sure. And the Muda scale, for those of you that don't know, is the Great Muda. Usually, when he bled, and there was a scale from 1 to 10. And I'd say this is about a 9 or a 10 on the scale of that. And Johnny, I guess my question is to you: in the main event, we saw Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. There was blood. Do you think when an accident like this happens with Matt Hardy, do you think you tell your main event, maybe don't get color? Now, granted, I wasn't paying attention very closely to the main event. It could have been accidental blood. But do you, in this day and age, especially with COVID going around, and a myriad of other things that could happen, do you tell your main event to maybe hold off a bit? Because this has kind of happened a couple of times with AEW, where somebody blades and we go, why are we doing this?
No,
just feels kind of unnecessary. What do you think?
I agree. Like, I will say that, like, I think part of the reason why they're doing it is definitely like to get people's attention, and of course the ratings and whatnot, because you got to think about it, is like they have to counteract WWE, so they have to do things that they know WWE can't do. In this PG era, they definitely can't do like on scare bleeding or whatnot. And if people don't believe that, go back. There's a classic Batista story about why he originally left WWE, when he decided to put some color in a match, and it came off with several people getting fined like thousands of dollars, including like a referee and a booker who got fined like several $1,000s that would have broke them. And Batista was a good man and paid for all of it. But the thing about it is that WWE can't use color, so it's like we need to use color. However, the thing about it is that you just can't run it overboard and use it all the time. I think in the Matt Hardy segment, in that spot, it worked really great because in a way, the whole Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara feud reminds me of like a Mick Foley Edge feud in a way. It's like you're doing this to get Sammy Guevara that extra credit, that edge and everything like that's going to take his character to the next level. You're initiating him into the wrestling industry, which is dope because he's a young guy. It's exactly what you want to see him go through and what you want to see him do. And then to answer your question, it's like, cool, once you do that, you don't need color in the main event. Because that's the thing, though, is that once you put it there, you got it for your program. You're going to get those rating spots. You're going to get those Instagram clips, all those different things. You've done the job. Now tell a good story elsewhere and just have great matches and whatnot. Because, again, I kind of talked about this last week, is that sometimes they overload these cards with, like, hard spots. Like, remember, I think it was, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago when Cody had that awesome match where he was, like, coming down on the thumbtacks and everything. But in that same match, Matt and his brother had a match where they were, like, doing, like, double flips through tables and whatnot, and one of them got injured. And it was like, dude, you don't need to do that. It's like, once you have a hardcore match already on the card, you don't need to do, like, another one and another one and whatnot. It's like a one-off is really good, so that way you can preserve people's bodies, keep them healthy for the long run. And then also, it's going to lose its impact. Not like the Tuesday impact, the actual impact. And so you just want to save it sparingly. So yeah, I think using with the Matt Hardy was a good call for the main event. You didn't need to do that. Just use it at the right times.
Yeah. Also, all pictures from AEW that we used this week, except for Matt Hardy bleeding, were all brought to us by All Elite Wrestling.
Woo! Thank you, AEW. Thank you. Remember, we are not biased, though. We are not biased.
Stick with us, kids. It's funny that you say. It's funny that you say we are not biased, because now we're going to talk about how I watched all 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, and I will never get that time back. I will never get that time back, and I'm so upset. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but here's what happened.
You want to talk about the good stuff first?
I want to talk about why I tuned in.
Oh, go ahead.
We'll tell a story, I guess. So the reason I tuned in last Monday was because we were told there's going to be a new faction, and they were going to shake things up. And I went, that's cool. It doesn't sound like it's Undisputed Era. It sounds like it's something brand new. And then more stuff started coming out about it, and I believe one of the quotes was, "Now this isn't supposed to be political." And I went, "Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all." So I tuned in and watched all 3 hours, but let's talk about what's a bad story, Ian? That Monday Night Raw wasn't worth watching 3 hours? It was a bad story, you're right. Let me know. So, the thing I want to talk. Do I have time to pop some popcorn? The story. It's a long. Yeah, you could come back, because I watched all 3 hours and I'm not happy about it. I watched it because they teased, their official account said, "Oh, a new faction's in town." But I guess that's what they wanted, right? They wanted me to tune in. I didn't watch SmackDown, so I was surprised by what happened there.
I watched SmackDown just because of what happened. Yeah, we'll get to that too.
So let's talk about the good things. I thought the opening match with MVP and Apollo Crews was fun. Mm-hmm. We did a lot, and they teased the lights going out. We're having production problems. Mm-hmm. And I think another good thing about the entire show is the Hurt Business. I loved the Hurt Business throughout this entire thing, just kind of going around. Oh, there's a Raw Underground. We'll get to it. We're gonna go there, and they just go there and beat the shit out of everybody and go, "This is our Raw Underground now." Matthew's kidding. He's supposed to be on a diet. I feel like you could eat some popcorn though. I feel like that's not
like non-buttered, non-salted or something maybe, but we're not dietitians.
No, I am. No, I'm definitely not. I'm about to cook an entire pizza and eat it after this. So take no advice from me. So Hurt Business. What did you think of the Hurt Business just in general on Monday?
Hurt Business is one of the best things happening in wrestling right now. I love that faction. I love what MVP is doing for like both those talents and everything like that. And the thing about it is that my only thing about it was that I don't like the Raw Underground and them going there like, this is our underground now. I'm like, I don't want that to be your underground. I want you guys doing stuff on the main roster, like going after belts and championships and becoming a dominant faction, everything like that. Like this whole like bootleg underground UFC thing that the Revive are trying to go for. Again, I always say like try out new ideas, try new things. But the thing about this was that it just didn't hit with me. It just came up kind of cheesy. Like, I don't know, it just didn't work for me and everything like that. And to be honest with you, one of my favorite things the Hurt Business has done is again where they were getting the belts, they're getting the 24/7 championship. Bobby Lashley's going after Drew for his championship right now. That's what I want to see them doing. I want to see them involved in going after belts and again shaking things up, going after people on the main roster and whatnot. If they get stuck in this like Raw Underground thing, I feel it's a wrong use of their talent, what they should be doing right now, especially leading up to SummerSlam. So again, the whole Raw Underground thing is kind of like it just didn't hit with me. Like again, I like the quote Neeson. He said it best. He was like, "All right, there's wrestling, but then there's like fighting like this, and it just doesn't look right. It's not a great use of these people's talents and everything like that." So honestly, I'm not a big fan of it, and I was genuinely disappointed. I was excited when I heard Shane was coming back too, I was like, yeah, Shane, the money's coming back. And to see this, I'm just like, I'm not feeling it.
So the thing about it is, I mean, and we'll get right into Raw Underground. The rumors were that Shane McMahon was coming back. Here he is. And the other rumor was whatever it was planned, everyone in the back kind of rolled their eyes about it. And I went, oh no. And then it started coming out that it was going to be like a no rope Fight Club type of thing. And it was. I'd love to know what people thought about this in the chat, because as soon as it happened, I think I messaged you guys. I was like, this is hilarious. This is so bad. Like, this is such a weird use of Shane McMahon. And I mean, I don't have a picture of I almost called him Ray Rowe, of is it Ivar? I don't even know what his name is. One of the Viking Raiders. He's in there. We got Dolph Ziggler in there, who's just, trying to get a win any way he can, I guess. And then we had oh man, I think Matthew just said what his name was. How do you say it? The Bubba Tundi?
Bubba Tundi, yeah.
So we did get a good look at this guy, and I mean he's massive. He looks like he could, he looks like somebody that WWE wants. So I mean, if we're going to introduce people that way, I guess that's different and new, and I can kind of get behind that. But other than this, it was just like, okay, who wants to fight Dolph Ziggler? Here's Dolph Ziggler. All right, Dolph Ziggler beat him. Who's next? All right, never mind. We have to go. It's really bad. It just feels like
it also feels rushed too. Like they didn't put enough time into it and whatnot. They was like, we need to do something to boost ratings, because if people haven't known, the Wednesday night ratings was everyone's been like really talking about debating, but the Raw ratings have been going down and down like every week and whatnot. So Vince is scrambling, trying to figure out something to boost that before it again starts affecting its moneymaker, which is SmackDown right now in that Fox deal. And so the thing about it is that like it just feels too rushed. It doesn't feel well enough thought out. It feels half-assed, and it doesn't feel actual, genuine, or good for wrestling. The other thing I didn't like about it too is that a while back we were complaining about the people being at ringside, again, not wearing masks or whatnot. And they go to this Raw Underground segment and literally have more people outside screaming, yelling, and they're all not wearing masks, including the girls dancing. He was like, why do you have girls dancing in 2020? Come on. And again, nobody's wearing a mask. I'm looking like, this is literally backstepping everything we wanted to do correctly in this current time of COVID in 2020. So I'm just pointed by this whole segment. But there was something I did like about this week's Raw that happened earlier on too, though.
Oh.
I don't think we have images from. I just want to bring it up really quickly. I love the fact that they have the Riot Squad get back together, and then Ruby Riot.
I was gonna get pictures of that.
And low-key, Ruby Riot cut one of the best promos I've seen in a long time. When she talked about the pain she went through after going through a surgery, she came back, she felt alone. Liv was a different person, and so she didn't feel she go with her, and Liv was all blossoming on her own and whatnot. It felt genuine. It was a dope promo. Liv came out and talked and everything like that. Kevin Owens being the go-between right there was awesome. And then you have Iconics come out just like to like mess this up and bring the Riot back together because they are iconic. And so to have them do that was like super awesome. And that was one of the best segments, I think, because now we have another women's tag team. And so now again we have somebody else that go after that Bayley and Sasha Banks tag team championship at some point. I'm like, this is good. This is all good.
That was a very well put together segment. Obviously anchored by Kevin Owens just being Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. And then, the realness that we felt in that with Ruby Riot talking and Liv Morgan talking. And it led to a tag team match. Look at that. It was very simple.
Yep.
That was another really good segment. But something that happened that I'm just like, what is going on with this? And at first... And I actually still think this, but we'll get to it. We had some singles matches between the Street Profits and Angel Garza and Andrade. And in the second match, Montez Ford passed out, and they called the match, and they brought him back to be checked on. And then early reports were that he was poisoned. And obviously Zelina and Andrade and Angel Garza are like, we didn't have anything to do with this. Bianca Belair is not buying that. And this whole angle, I'm thinking this ain't it. Like,
No.
what are we doing? Why are we poisoning people? And I think honestly, Zelina and them say they didn't do it. I would like to, with all of the other goings on, maybe think a new faction might have had something to do with it. But I, yeah, I just didn't. I really didn't care for it. But what I did care for, and I don't know if you saw this,
Oh
was
yeah, I did. I did.
Zelina was being interviewed, I believe, via Skype.
I think it was on Twitch.
It was on Twitch, and it was just a nice little interview. It was just talking, and I guess you hear like the doorbell ring, and then she goes, "Can you get the door for me?" And it's like blah blah blah. She's talking, and then out of nowhere, Bianca Belair attacks Zelina Vega in her home, beats the shit out of her, and I think it just goes off air with Kayla just doing this. Just like, oh my god, what happened? And I mean, if there's anything that that was great. I think that's a great use of their other mediums and figuring that out. I thought that was really cool. I know Neeson was very hyped about it when he saw it.
He was going crazy in our group chat about that.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, there were some, I mean, the gimmick itself, what do you make of this poisoning thing? I don't.
So their whole feud has been kind of awkward to me. Like, I feel it hasn't really caught on yet because, again, Andrade and Angel still don't seem to be really clicking for me yet.
Right.
So it's been kind of awkward. And the whole poisoning, I thought, this is cheesy, this is dumb, blah, blah, blah. If it ends up being the fault of a new faction, that could cause some, okay, that would be interesting. When we found out it was just Zelina poisoning them, I was like, okay, whatever. But I do got to say, though, the moment Bianca got involved and they're in the back and they're arguing, like, what'd you do to him or whatnot? Bianca comes out, she's like, okay, so I need to know what you did to my husband. And then Selena's like, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, okay, is this how you want to play it? Is this how you want to play it? She's got to take off the earrings? I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I need a wrestling right now. Anytime Bianca Belair is involved, things get that much better. So to be honest with you, everything was corny and cheesy until Bianca Belair got involved. And now things are getting way better. Like, to the point of that Twitch interview, the moment Selena's doing there, talk about stuff that she's into that comes in, Bianca jumps her. And I'm like, I was a little bit worried that you weren't building this feud enough going to SummerSlam, but gosh damn it, if y'all are not starting to go now, if you're not building up the right way. So all in all, I gotta say, I'm really a fan of it. I'm loving what they're doing, and I'm looking forward to see how this all turns out, especially for the Bianca-Selena feud. And then see what happens for Bianca after this, because now maybe after this, we get Bianca involved in maybe a championship, like, run or something like that.
That'd be nice.
Or something going on there. Because I would love to see Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks promo for promo going back and forth. That could be pretty badass. Oh, you think about it. You're thinking about it, John. You're thinking about it like, oh, that could be so good. That could be so good.
That would be great. I'm not gonna put up the GIF because if we put it up too much, we get flagged.
Yeah, exactly. Please, John.
I can't get the notification.
Don't breathe. Come on, I need to breathe, but don't do that.
But no, with Bianca involved now, it feels like that gave it a little more element of realness. Because if it was just Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, and he's like, yeah, I got poisoned. Like, I would logically be like, where's his wife?
Exactly.
Wouldn't she be back? So I'm glad that she showed up, and I'm glad they did this crazy Twitch fight thing. I thought that was really great. And now we must get to the reason I tuned in.
Yeah.
To watch 3 hours, 3 hours of Raw. We're going to talk about Retribution here now. So I mentioned the lights going out at the beginning. There were some other things with like microphones going out. And then towards the end of the broadcast, it wasn't Michael Cole. Michael Cole's on SmackDown. The broadcast team tells us we have some backstage footage that was shot, and we go to backstage at a generator, and we see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. They're throwing Molotov cocktails at a generator, and that is what caused all of the nonsense that was happening. And I think the next day we found out they were called Retribution. Obviously, this is and we'll just go to SmackDown as well. We'll just lump this in right now because it's a storyline that we should talk about a little bit more. They're called Retribution. Clearly, it is a group of men and women. And if it's not, they should have figured that out beforehand. Because some of the people under masks, they're clearly women. So we move to SmackDown, and I believe that's how SmackDown ends, right? He's like, "Wait a minute," and then they come in. They're running in. They're they're all, look how happy they are. They tore down the set. They chased everyone away. They used a chainsaw and they beat up everybody all over the place. And look at that. They hate WWE because they made that little logo and crossed it out. That's cute. I don't know, man. This feels very. You can't tell me this is not a political statement, and then quite clearly with what is going on in the world today, it is clearly a political statement. And as soon as I saw it, I won't lie to you, I got a little sick to my stomach because I know this is gonna go sideways even quicker than it already is.
So I agree with you. And for me, I do not like it. So first off, I'm watching Raw and the mics are messing up or whatever. I'm like, the hell? Damn, you ain't got a budget? Ratings that bad now? And then all of a sudden they show that clip at the end of them like going and say the generator on fire. I'm like, okay, call the fire department. What the fuck was that? I'm like, should I care? Why? And so I was not invested at all. And then we go to Monday night and everything like that. And like you said, they come out, they start intimidating, like, the announcers or whatever. And they run off Corey Graves and Michael Cole on Friday night and everything like that. And then after that, they start going behind the scenes and attacking all the, the NXT stars are out there. It's supposed to be cheering and throwing them around and whatnot. Then they cheesily start beating up the ring with crowbars and bats. I'm like, that's not doing anything. You're all right, cool. They start spray painting stuff. And to be honest with you, it's really lackluster because if we think back to the Nexus, and we just had the anniversary of the Nexus a few weeks ago, and what the Nexus did when they premiered, where they literally tore the ring apart. We saw the wood underneath the ring and all these kind of things. I'm like, this is really weak sauce for me. Like, honestly, it was legitimate, very weak sauce. Because even though you're cutting the ropes, I'm like, Nexus destroyed everything. They beat up the commentators. They did a bunch more stuff. And here's the thing, especially in this time of now where you're pre-filming things, it feels like you could have much more elaborate than you usually did. Like, to be honest with you, I'm like, whatever Nexus did, you need to take that to the next level. In today's world where we're pre-recording segments, I'm like, you should have set the ring on fire. You already had them take that Molotov cocktail, throw it on the generator and whatnot. You just set up the same set off-site somewhere. They can look exactly the same. And what do? They throw it down and set the ring of fire, and that's how we go off air. And then, boom, we have to tune in like Monday night, come back next week or whatnot. And so that would have taken things up a notch because you always have to outdo yourself. And right now, you're not outdoing yourself because what Nexus did was so much better. And so, to be honest with you, I am not a fan of this. However, I'll be honest with you. One man did make me possibly be a fan of this, depending on how they did it. And that name's man is John Pingle.
Hello.
So John in our chat, he brought up a very interesting point, and he was like, "You know what? I hate this, but you know what? I won't hate this as much if Leo Rush is involved." And I was like, "Huh? That would be dope if Leo Rush is involved. What if this was Retribution, and that all these people were part of the Black Wednesday event that happened all those months ago, and these are all people who got laid off coming back for Retribution against WWE?" Which at first I was like, that could be interesting. Maybe like all these people got their job back, or maybe they were kind of like not really fighting at all. Because I remember when Leo Rush was fighting, I was like, he was literally just cruiserweight champion. He literally put on 2 matches that will be considered for match of the year towards once we get to the end of the year. It doesn't make sense at all for him to be fired right now. So that does make it interesting for me. However, I have a question for you now, John, because you brought up this great theory.
Yes.
If they did this though, would this be kind of in poor taste, given that people actually did lose their jobs, to now make this part of a storyline?
100%, but they already did that with Drake Maverick, so they don't care.
Exactly. So that's the thing, though. It feels weird because with Drake, is like it was actually Drake's losing his job, so Drake kind of did it himself the day of. So in a way, Drake kind of like thought on the spot, did a whole segment. he's trying to get his job back, and low key it worked. It was genius. He did it himself. But with this, it feels like what WWE doing is like, yeah, but I don't know. For me, I'm kind of looking like Drake initiated that, and that's his own firing. But now the company's trying to capitalize off other people's firings. I don't know. I got to see how they deal with this. If that's what they do, if they actually do bring back those old wrestlers they did fire, because what they could do is these could be like 7 brand new people. It's like I saw somebody's hair and I was like, I don't recognize that. I know that's Sarah Logan's hair. It was like curly and everything like that. One of the girls. I was like,
right.
That's not Sarah Logan. Maybe some NXT talent, but like, I don't know. So I'll be interested to see what happens.
Ian saw the same post that I saw, which it showed her hair against the person's hair who was sticking out. So it could be a mix. It could be a mix of people that are still on the roster. It could be a mix of people who were furloughed or something like that. But I think really to drive this point home, you have to have somebody that's pretty big at the head of it, or at least is about to be pretty big. And I don't have an answer to who that could be. I think Lio Rush, I don't know if he could be a leader of this group. I would love to see it because I think he has grown very much as a promo guy. So I'm not really sure what we could do, but WWE got me. Ciampa's also rumored, and I think the other rumor that I heard was Donnie Dijak, Dominic Dijakovic.
And I mean, what you can also do as well is because people on the internet were kind of meaning how small they were. Like, it was weird. That was
they were so tiny.
Yeah, so that makes me, as soon as I saw that, starts making me as Mary says in the chat, makes me start thinking of 205 Live guys. So then I started going about people who are on 205 Live who we haven't seen in a while, who can be part of this. It might be cool to see them come back and everything. Tony Nese, like some along those lines or whatever. So again, it just kind of opens the door for you to see like a lot of different people. And again, it could be some cool storytelling as well, because like we're going to get to it, but Drew cut a great promo where he talked about his past history in the WWE. If you find people who've actually kind of been wronged by the company in the sense that they're uber talented, but they just didn't get the right push or they got put in the wrong feud or whatever, for example, like a TJ Perkins, but there's some other cats as well. But we have to talk about that off air at some point, what happened with him. But again, you bring back somebody who's like career and go exactly the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, so it could be interesting to see what they end up doing, but I do think they didn't do themselves any favors by having one of the guys talk at the camera, because I can almost guarantee that dude isn't in the group. So it kind of ruins the illusion that, or it adds to it as there are more people than we actually think. Isaiah Swerve Scott apparently has also been mentioned. See, they are keeping it close, which is nice, but it kind of almost feels, and Matthew made a good point, that they just went him, her, him, her. Let's go. We're going to put you in a group. And the reason it feels that way is because obviously they're all wearing masks. They kind of half have the idea, but it really feels like they didn't think this through, because 205 Live airs right after SmackDown and everything was fine.
There you go.
Very good point, Matthew. I think I actually mentioned that in our chat as well. And yes, TJP is on Impact with Falaba right now.
Oh, thank you, Matthew.
So that's where
I'm not
TJ Perkins is. So let's move on to NXT. Man, I don't want to talk.
Oh, wait. Before we move on, can I bring up one great thing that Raw did as well?
Yes.
It's really quickly. The Drew McIntyre Randy Orton promo I thought was awesome.
Oh, that was pretty good too. Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that Randy was like, "Why don't you say something new about me?" Kind of remind me like a little bit of 8 Mile, who's like, "Tell these people something they don't know about me." Randy Orton. And I was like, okay. But then Drew was like, I got you, B-Rabbit. And he starts going to that awesome promo saying like, well, you've never lifted anybody up. You've never gotten somebody else over. You've never actually mentored or built somebody else. Like, oh shit, these are valid ass points right now.
That's a shoot.
Exactly. He starts going like, you think about me when I was here years ago. I'd had a debt to the family. I'd gone through this, was about to lose my job. A few kind words from superstar Randy Orton could have lifted me up, or a little bit of guidance, just the way Edge did for you. But did you do that for me? Not at all. And I was like, these are some good fucking points right here. This shit's getting great. So I've got to be honest, like, I love that promo. I am so excited for this match and this feud right now. And I got to give Drew McIntyre credit. while his championship run will always kind of have this weird like asterisk by it about like what would have been like with the crowd there or whatnot, I give him credit. He is doing such great work right now, and he's trying every time he gets out there. And that was a great promo, so props to him. And I'm interested to see what happens for the SummerSlam match.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have anything on SmackDown before we got to NXT? I will say, just real quick, the Alexa Bliss Fiend thing, like, kind of dead in the tracks, right? When Braun Strowman's like, I don't give a damn about Alexa Bliss, and it's like, okay, well then, this is awful. Like, where's the story?
Exactly. Also, I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this watching the feed Alexa Bliss in the ring. I was like, this shit feels weird. We was coming up, you're going to. She's like, no. And then Corral's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I was so happy when Braun showed up. I was like, please stop showing this.
Happy birthday, Alexa Bliss, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Alexa Bliss. Don't worry. We won't charge you $400 to say that. Yay. Happy birthday. Yay. Your cameo. Yay.
Well, we can't send this to her now, Johnny.
Oh, there was other thing. So next week on SmackDown or Raw, I can't remember which, but Stephanie McMahon showed up on SmackDown. And
yes.
She said that she's going to put together a tournament. It was a match with stars from each brand, and they're going to fight it out to see who'll be the number one contender for Bayley's championship. And that actually got me really excited because it's supposed to be people from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So if they choose to do that, that means we could see Io Shirai show up on SmackDown, or maybe somebody else show up on SmackDown. So that could be really cool. So I think that's going to be a really cool segment.
So see, that's cool, but Raw Underground is not cool.
Oh yeah, Raw Underground is terrible. Raw Underground, but you asking for it. Let's talk about NXT.
All right, NXT. We have a new number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship, and it is one captain of Team Kick, Dakota Kai, facing. She took on Rhea Ripley with the bleach blonde hair here. Dakota Kai, our new number one contender. I am excited about that. I've been a Dakota Kai fan for a while now. What do we think Dakota Kai's chances are against Io Shirai come NXT TakeOver 30? I don't think it's time yet, but I love that we've gotten this big buildup of the villain of Dakota Kai over the last couple of months, and she's finally getting her title shot. I think just in general, I feel like she's never had an NXT Women's Championship title shot.
No, now that I can think of, and honestly, like, I'm a big Dakota Kai fan too. Back before her heel turn, I love the way her heel turn is going. To be just totally honest, though, I was not a big fan of like how this proceeded, and I'm just thinking from a storytelling standpoint. Rhea Ripley was the main reason why she was on that Survivor Series team. Sorry, not Survivor Series. I'm thinking War Games. She was not on that War Games team.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big thing and whatnot. So I would love to see like some callback to that. Like the announcers try to do it, but I think they could have done that at promo as well, where she's like, "You're the reason I'm like this. You're the reason. You took my best friend from me. You took this from me, and now I want to get it all back." And I think it would have been dope if she had got that win under her own dirty ways of winning in a way. Like, it's cool that she can cheat, but she does it on her own by doing something underhand or whatever to get the win over Rhea Ripley, because when her friend comes out to help her, even after she joined the Michael Stone brand, I'm like, yeah, but you're part of the Michael Stone brand now. Go be your own person, do your own thing. Dakota needs to get this win on her own. If she cheats to get it, that's fine. She's a heel. She's a badass. That's fine. But you coming out to help her doesn't help her out going into this feud with Io Shirai, because if she gets that cheating, like dirty win over Rhea Ripley, it sets up a feud for them like later on. They can kind of keep this storyline going, but it gives her that much credibility going to this like match with Io Shirai. And I was like, oh shit, maybe she can win. But just coming out of this way, I'm just kind of like, oh, that was cool. I don't think you're going to win though, because if your friend doesn't show up to help you out, I think you're just going to lose this match.
Yeah, I will say I do enjoy that we are getting Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai, but I am a little more hyped that it looks like we're going to get Mercedes Martinez versus Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
That match is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for that. And the NXT 30 card is shaping up here, and we will get to how we went off the air at NXT, but we do have, as Ian said in chat here, Dexter Lumis out. He's out of the ladder match for the North American Championship. He apparently hurt himself on I think it was refilming the spot where he does the flip up to the outside.
Oh, poor guy.
So he hurt himself, and this is pretty tragic, honestly, because Dexter Lumis kind of just hanging around for a while, and now he gets this seemingly odd babyface push out of nowhere. And I was excited to see if they would put the belt on him and where he would go from there. But he's kind of taken a little setback here. I don't think there's a timetable on the injury, but he's not going to make it to take over. They've still got some spots to fill out for that ladder match, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it. But man, just a real bummer.
Yeah, it really is. I give him credit. Like, he's creepy, but I mean, that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to creep me out. So he's doing his job. And so, like, yeah, I'm disappointed because, again, I like what they was building. I like, again, his character, where he's going with it. And I mean, this does suck, but again, he's a great talent. The cool thing about NXT is they try not to forget about you. It's like the moment you come back from injury, they try to put you right back on the track that had you on. And so hopefully, like, he heals up, takes care of himself, comes back in full strength, because he could have a very long career in the WWE. So better, like, again, take some time now to heal than, like, injure yourself worse.
Yeah, so I think they're going to name a replacement for him. I think they're going to have some more matches for it. I honestly cannot remember. A lot of wrestling going on. Yes.
So here's my question. Do you think it will be – because we kind of talked about this, with this whole North American Championship, they've been pushing new talent. Do you think they'll replace them with another new talent to keep that going? Or do you think they'll bring in a veteran presence to kind of up the match a little bit, like a Finn Balor or a Johnny Gargano?
Well, I know that everyone who was not pinned in their respected matches will have singles matches, and I believe whoever wins those matches will be put into the match.
Oh, okay.
So if Finn didn't get pinned, which I cannot remember, I apologize, then he does have a chance. They could put some of these veterans back into the fold here, but I would like to see somebody new win it. And I mean, if that has to be
say his name. Come on, you know you want to say it.
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes.
I'd be fine with that. But I know Kushida is in the match that is upcoming this week. So that could be fun too. So we'll see. I'm excited for that. One thing I'm on the fence about is that our next topic. We talked about it last week. Pat McAfee and Adam Cole got into a little tiff on Pat McAfee's show. They apologized to each other. They talked it out like men or something. And then this happened, and that was undone. And then we got into a bit of a fight here, and then this happened. And this might frame this picture and put it on my wall.
It looks bad. It looks like Triple H and Shawn Michaels actually helped to hold Adam Cole down.
Yeah, he got all that one. That one went through the uprights for sure. And now, and here's Triple H. He's mad. You get out of here. You get out of here. And now we have this.
Nope.
This is happening.
Nope.
And nope. Please let me know what you think of this.
Nope.
I got a yikes. I got no boy, and I got Pat was begging for a bruising. Well, he might get one come takeover. I don't get this. I mean, I know if Neeson was here, he was saying it's an attraction match, but this kind of feels like giving this match to somebody who's on their way out.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about on their way out of NXT.
Ooh, hot take.
I'm just talking about on their way out of the company.
Yeah, because right now there's a lot of speculation about Adam Cole's contract, which may or may not be done this August. And there's been a lot of talk about it going on for a long time now. And so I totally agree with John. Like, this is not the match you do for somebody who just came off as arguably being the greatest NXT champion of all time, who is Mr. November, who did like all these great things, and now he's just doing a match with Pat McAfee. Like, here's the thing. I would be more forgiving of this match because we've seen this done before. We've seen people have matches with Mike Tyson. People say
Lawrence Taylor.
Exactly. Roy Jones Jr. So we've seen people have like all these Floyd Mayweather and everything like that. Not Floyd Jones Jr., sorry. Floyd Mayweather. So we've seen people do this before. But here's the thing though. Mike Tyson, champion, boxer. Floyd Mayweather, champion, boxer. Pat is a goddamn kicker. Like, no, come on. I'm like, this is really what we're doing now? He's Adam Cole, again, arguably the greatest NXT champion of all time, is going to wrestle a punter. A punter? Really? Really? This is what we're doing? He's supposed to be a legitimate threat? And we're supposed to be like, oh no, what could happen to Adam here? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I am not a fan of this at all. I feel it's damn near disrespectful to Adam Cole and his legacy. I do not like this. It's just, it is trash on the highest degree.
Woo!
It's a dumpster fire. Gosh damn why.
Trash on the highest degree. So Neeson said there's no crowd. What's the point of a big match? Why not have an attraction match? And I get it. That makes sense. But I don't know, man. This just feels like, unless I don't know something about McAfee, has he been training?
To kick?
To wrestle. Unless there's something I don't know about with that, then I don't see this going very well. But also, it could go very well because, as Neeson said, there is no crowd. They're going to pre-tape it, so why not try this out, see what goes on? But to me, it just feels like, why are we giving? This is Adam Cole's. This is his way. This is his send off.
Look at the chat. Pat wasn't even a threat to punt returners in the NFL. Oh,
Matthew, just bringing it.
Matthew. Good job, Matthew.
Just absolutely bringing it right now.
It's just like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, why are you going to make Pat look strong? Like, you pre-recorded, but it's like, do you want to make Pat look strong against the greatest NXT champion of all time? It's just like, no, there's no upside to this. Like, again, if it was a boxer or somebody could fight, if it was Marshawn Lynch, I would be more like, oh shit, this could go sideways. This could be dangerous, Adam Cole. Marshawn fight fair too. If he brings his family, they like to fight. Like, oh shit, this could go a different way. I would be more worried about that. But Pat, the kicker, out of all the positions in football, the kicker is the one that's coming for Adam Cole. Gosh.
I mean, I will say he's made a good career after football out of it. I mean,
yeah, podcasting,
but
not wrestling, but yeah, a lot of different things.
Yeah, but I don't know. So we're gonna end our show today, and I can't believe I forgot about this. Today, 1999, I believe, The Rock came out for a promo on Monday Night Raw, and he was promptly interrupted by the countdown. And today, in 1999, Chris Jericho made his debut on Monday Night Raw. To me, this is one of the best. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me take this down. Let me bring myself up. This is the best debut ever. I don't know if you remember this. I watched this live, and I've watched it numerous times over the year just to hear the crowd pop, because it's a little delayed, like the Jericho rotates and then goes Jericho, and everyone goes ah, and loses their mind. This is one of the all-time great debuts ever. It's so good. It stands the test of time. This is how you do a big debut. Did you watch this live, Johnny, by chance?
What year was it? Say it again.
1999.
Nope, did not rewatch it live, but I watched it many times because I'm a huge Rock fan. I'm a huge Jericho fan, and I love this like interaction, this promo, because what I love about it is, though, in this you had two of the masters. Again, when we do our top 10 list of greatest like promos on the mic skills, Jericho and Rock are definitely both in the top 10. And so to have both of them on the mic right here for this debut was magnificent. And then furthermore, I give so much respect to The Rock right here because some veteran guys are not always prone or cool with putting other people over. No. The Rock will put a mofo over. He will help bring more like life to this person's career and to the company. And he had a great give and go with Jericho that was freaking awesome, which helped set him on his path to success in the WWE. So again, yeah, I remember this and love it well. And I give a lot of respect to both gentlemen for it.
Yeah, and I mean, they used at the time Jericho's strength, which was one of his strengths, which was the promo. I think it was the right way to go. I mean, another debut that I think of that is amazing was AJ Styles at the Rumble. I think that one was fantastic as well. But for me, this Jericho one, it's number one on my list. It was technically a surprise, I feel. Do you think there's anything better debut wise? I see you rattling your brain over there.
But I think the problem with it is though is that like when people debut at the Rumble, especially when they come from like other companies, it's like some of the audience doesn't know who they are. But the reason why like I think I'm going to agree with you, say it was this debut, is because he comes out, people who know him get to recognize him quickly, but then the people who don't know him get introduced to him immediately. And so he starts cutting that promo. He starts getting himself over. The Rock starts getting himself over. The people who know him start cheering and laughing at his jokes. And so the other audience members start growing in as well. And it's just immediate fire. And by the way, we've got Neeson in the chat. What's up, Neeson?
In the chat.
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, Neeson. Whoa, live it up. Neeson, do it big.
I think he's got a couple of days, but celebrating with the family today.
Neeson, keep that Pedialyte so you can rehydrate the next day.
I think a lot of people also go like, well, but The Rock kind of buried him a little bit. And I guess I can get that, but also like you're debuting on Monday Night Raw with a lot of fanfare and you're going up against The Rock. Like that's literally, I think, one of the best things you could have done in that era was debut against The Rock.
Exactly. I remember the Dudley Boys, they debuted against The Rock and Sock Connection. And I remember they were still doing the whole stuttering thing. And The Rock was like, who are you? We're the It doesn't matter. And then they go to work or whatever. But it was a great introduction. To this day, I remember that promo. I remember the Dudley Boys were debuting against The Rock. And so it works. It's like The Rock gets people over. And it's, again, I remember watching that. I remember when I was thinking as I watched, I was like, damn, Jericho's getting a lot of things in on The Rock here, which I don't usually see people doing. So even though, like, I would say that he never got buried, The Rock may have come out on top, but at the same time, Jericho got some great work in. Gotta shoot tomorrow. Laugh out loud, no drinking. But Thursday, we lit. Woo! It's going down. It's going down.
Going down on a Thursday. It's going down on Thursday. So I think that's it for us. Johnny, do you have anything else wrestling related before we get on out? Is there anything else you want to touch on?
Nothing else that I really want to touch on. I will just say make sure you tune in this Friday night to SmackDown to see, because the cool thing about it is, though, they said they'll be again this match to determine the number one contender. But again, they said it'll be from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. They haven't said who's in it. And so, again, I would say definitely tune in to see who shows up, especially from NXT, because if Io Shirai makes her debut like on SmackDown, I am going to go crazy. That would be so awesome to see. And then also, again, other than that, though, nothing really else.
I will say I hope everyone's checking out New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. It's on New Japan World. I think it airs right after SmackDown. It airs on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, I think. No, 10 p.m. Eastern. Definitely check it out. And I guess that might be a teaser for some stuff that we might be doing here in the future. I guess we'll just leave it at that. There's some exciting stuff. So do you have anything to plug before we get out here? I mean, our socials are right there.
Nope. As always, be sure to check me out on Instagram, Twitter, right there with the socials. Give a follow. Come check some stuff out. Also, you can find my comics on Gumroad for now, because I'm actually about to take some things off because I'm getting a new webcomic on Webtoons. So keep an eye out for that coming the next few weeks or whatnot. I'll be dropping some info about that coming soon.
Wonderful. I'm my socials right there. You can see it there. I'm also doing a lot of Twitch streaming. It is late night for all of you East Coasters. I apologize, and for your West Coasters, because I'm an insane person. But I've been streaming Modern Warfare. I want to start playing Fall Guys. I don't know if you've seen this game. It's ridiculous. And then I think I'm just gonna say the hell with it. I'm gonna start streaming some wrestling.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys, I'll make sure I drop some links on that before I watch wrestling. I'll make sure I schedule it out well in advance because I got a catalog and I got some stuff to watch. So guys, thanks for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Johnny, this is the OG squad.
I know. Yeah, we're taking.
Well, OG for me when I first.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
And for me and Neeson, damn it, Nike. Damn you, Sneakers app. We've been trying to cop Jordans for the longest time. We keep taking L's. This is from me and Neeson. We pissed about this. We need our kicks, damn it. Other than that, though, that's about damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they have not been having good luck. I've gotten the live commentary on it.
Yeah,
early in the morning. You guys are dedicated.
We're up 70. I'm trying to get these shoes and whatnot. We keep taking L's and whatnot. So again, damn it, Nike. Come on, give us some wins here.
All right. So Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, Twitch.tv/that#show, and YouTube.com/that#show TV. But most importantly, fuck them.
That's right. That's right. Gosh damn it, Sneakers. I was trying to get my Jordan 1 Japans, and I missed out. These was trying to get his Jordan 1 reuse with the red at top. Didn't get them. Damn it, stop giving us L's.
But most importantly, no, it's fine. Most importantly, that #show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture.
We out.
We'll see you guys next week as I end